Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. Today we have got our delivery of issue 5. That's right, issue 5 of Imperium with this exclusive miniature. So first of all, I want to say a big shout out to Ross Graham who sponsored this issue, and thank you so much, pal, for sponsoring the first 5 issues of this series. And if you want to be a sponsor of an issue, then there are 2 different ways of doing it. You can either hop onto the Forbidden Planet wish list and purchase whichever issue you want to be sponsored, or you can directly send the money over to me through the PayPal link on Streamlabs, and yeah, just send me a message so I know that it's from you and it's for this magazine. So without further ado, if you haven't already liked and shared and subscribed, do all those beautiful things that help against the algorithm, let's dive into this amazing issue. So this is the 3rd series that Hachette and Games Workshop have done with their exclusive miniature specifically for this magazine. You cannot get it anywhere else, and to be honest, it's not a bad little mini. Plenty of customization can be done with it with spare bits from different kits. If you're not afraid of just like cutting little bits off here and there or moving bits around. It's a complete blank slate as well. There is no chapter markings on there whatsoever, so you can do what you want with it. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's nice detail, it's clean. Odd lines aren't that bad either. Yeah, it's pretty decent. So, you know, that's easily like a 20 quid character that you could buy on its own in a store. So boom, there you go. Now issue 5, the actual magazine, we get a pull out. So we've had these before in previous magazine series. They sort of just help fill out and break up the narrative aspect of things. But this one has got quite a bit on it. So we've got the dynastic hierarchy. So Necron society is organized to strict dynastic codes, from the imperious nobility all the way down to the mighty legions that march out to enforce their master's wills. Few tomb worlds break from this rigid martial order, for it has served the Necron race well for many thousands of years. So we open it up. We've got Necrons at war. So from beneath the barren rocky surface of a Necron 2 world, the forces of the Saracen dynasty rise to confront Eldari trespassers. In the face of the Necron dynasty's world-shattering weapons, the Eldari intruders will surely be ground to dust. So it goes over about the wars that they fought between the Necrons and their ancient enemy, the Eldari, aka the Eldar, space elves, you know. And it's showing off some really cool stuff here that you won't get in the magazine series, unfortunately. But I mean, like this is a pretty cool mini from the Eldari, and this little bit of really awesome terrain at the back there, that is actually just a kit bash from a very from the previous version of the monolith kit. That is an actual piece of terrain that you can purchase though, and it comes with 3 of these things, and they give you bonuses on the thing. But here we go, we've got the royal court. So we got a cryptek over there, who are like advisors and nobles and stuff like that. You've got Citan Shard. This one is the Void Dragon. It's a really cool mini, brand new as well. Same with this monolith over here. It's a brand new thing. It can bring out troops. It's got massive weapons on it that just absolutely wreck. And then my audio stopped recording, and I just didn't realize until I was halfway through editing the video, as you can see. So brilliant. So as I was saying, this is all fantastic kits going on here. We will be getting all of these except the Eldari, the Silent King, the monolith, and this Void Dragon here, and of course that piece of terrain as well. But never fear, because you know you can always purchase them at your leisure. And then of course we've got the hierarchy of the Necrons as well. So At the top is the Pharaon, the leader of the dynasty. Then you've got his royal court, who help sort of organize everything and run the show. You've got the Praetons, who are the the Praetons and the Stalkers. The armory, and there you got the monolith, doomsday arcs, annihilation barges, and aircraft. Sort of standard stuff. And then from here you got the outcasts, which are the destroyers and flayed ones, those who have problems with their code essentially. You got the legions here, which are the warriors and immortals. The canoptic stuff, which is all the stuff that help defend the facilities and keep it ticking over. And then of course the Satan swords right at the bottom, because of course nothing says you're the dominant species than having little slivers of gods shoved into biomechanical bodies and used as slaves. Wicked. So there you go. That is that, and of course got a little bit more on the legions there, and a really nice bit of artwork there. The two factions having a go. Now we move on to the actual issue itself. So let's get into that. So first thing you'll notice after the index and this little bit here is that he doesn't have a specific name. This is in keeping with the fact that you get to name all the units and characters, so that's pretty cool, because in previous ones you had Lieutenant Calcius, and then of course you had the Knight and Cantor Zandria Azurbolt, specific names for those characters. For this one, it can be whatever you want it to be. So it shows a little bit on here, his arm, what he's armed with, his weaponry, all the different marks and stuff, what they all mean. The Crux Terminatus, which is like a veteran status stamp of approval essentially, and it supposedly has like a sliver of the Emperor's armor, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got a little quote here from Rabuti Gilliman, the Primarch himself.
A captain leads from the front. By his example shall his men know what it is to be the Astartes, and from his teachings shall they learn the trade of battle in the Emperor's name.
Boom. Nice. So yeah, we got a little battle record thing. I really like this. It really helps give it some, immersion, so you can really sort of customize your way through your storytelling. So yeah, give them a cool name. There's some options, but you can go ahead and do it, and of course you can name all the stuff and records and that. So moving on to Tools of War. Whether based aboard the colossal starship or within the looming walls of a fortress monastery, all Space Marine chapters maintain a vast armory stacked high with weapons and armor ready to be unleashed upon the Emperor's foes. Rah! So yeah, anything from a pointy stick to a massive tank to they've got blooming drop pod bunkers now, haven't they? They have it all essentially. And over here we have the melee weapons, or melee, depends how you want to say that. We've got a chain sword. That's a pretty standard thing. Nice, it's awesome. It goes brum brum, and it hacks things to bits into very messy messes. Yeah, and their main purpose is shock and awe, but they do the job well. And of course you've got your power sword and power axes. They're for cleaner kills and for heavier armor. Thunder hammers are just great for smacking things. Fist bumping with your power fist, and then you got your force weapons, which are powered by channeling the psychic energy from a librarian or trained psyker into the weapon itself. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, we have the War for Ramesses Megaria. So this is the world we are currently on in our playthroughs. The system is Ramesses, and we'll go on here. It said the moon known as Megaria orbits the gas giant Gliantha, the largest planet in the Ramesses system. For generations, this desolate, dusty rock has been host to the majority of Ramesses' heavy industry. Since the Necron invasion, however, the moon refineries have fallen silent. So there you go. You got a little bit of a story there. You got the forces of the Ultramarines here. There's the spaceport there. There's like places of interest that you need to know. There's the Necron activity, and then of course you got the two major cities there, and little reports, which is kind of cool. Then we move on to the important locations. So you've got the Fanstad spaceport, which is imperative to hold because it's the quickest and easiest way to get troops and resources in and out of the planet. So of course they would want to hold on to that. Blast Mine Theta, of course, it's a great place to get resources from, but also it says here these pits are now the last refuge for the few survivors of the Necron invasion. So it's a good place to hide people and troops. Then you got the Administratum complex. You need this to help keep in contact with the rest of your forces and that, keep things ticking over. So it's very important to keep hold of those, otherwise it makes things a bit more tricky. And then you've got your Necron repair facility, which are starting to rise up everywhere, and the Necrons need these intact in order to replenish their forces, or they'll just end up phasing out into another repair facility in another system, which won't help their war effort at all. Then we got our second story, Heart of the Storm. So from their lair deep within the warp, the bloodthirsty Crimson Slaughter have emerged to strike at the Imperium. In their path stand the Fulminators, a chapter of Primaris Space Marines. Beneath the spires of the Shrine World, Timia's pride, loyalist and traitor clash in the midst of a violent storm. So the Crimson Slaughter were actually introduced in 6th or 7th edition, I can't remember, I think it was 6th edition, in the beginner set, adjacent to the Dark Angels. I think it's called Dark Vengeance. Really nice models, still hold up to this day. And of course the Fulminators are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, but they are Primaris only, so that's pretty cool. So we'll read 2 bits on here. So get my narrator lungs on. Above the soaring cathedrals of Timia's pride, the heavens unleashed their fury. Forked lightning split the sky, illuminating the besieged city. Beneath the tempest, Captain Amateur of the Fulminator's 2nd Company removed his helm, baring his flesh to the biting wind. Before him, silhouetted against the darkness, a tide of traitors surged forth through the eye of the storm. They were horrific to look upon, clad in crimson power armor, adorned with demonic horns and profane icons of the ruinous powers. These were Chaos Space Marines of the Crimson Slaughter. Amateur scowled. The sight of the foe had awakened a primal hatred within his heart. He despised these turncoats and traitors to the Imperium. There would be no mercy this day. So let's carry on. So of course it's got a bit on each of the factions as well, which is really cool. So there's a nice bit of toilet reading, and then of course you got your bit to put them together. You will need glue. It's showing you how to use your mold line remover as well, so that's pretty cool. And there you go, finished product, nice and easy. Won't really need sub assemblies because unless you're really funny about getting the back of the cloak, which no one can see, or if you just want to paint the head separately. I mean, that's pretty much it really. But it's a nice open pose, and then of course you've got 2 paints to put on him thus far, so it should look like that, but it'll get better as he goes along. Then of course you've got rallying the troops. The troops scattered and fully engaged with the Necron foe. The captain in command of the Ultramarines force seeks to rally the Space Marines and ensure the Necron foe is defeated. So here we go, we have our new captain against the destroyers, all on his Jack Jones. And of course we got some new data sheets here. Now one thing I did notice, you've got the plasma pistol here, but there's no ballistic skill on the data sheet, so I think they missed that out. But it does say over here in the instructions he does have a ballistic skill 2+. So there we go, that's just one little mistake that they left out, but I haven't seen any other mistakes in this issue. If you have, let me know in the comments below. So he's got his movement, weapon skill, he's got 6 wounds, 5 attacks and a 3-up armor save. They're introducing armor piercing, which is pretty cool. So say their armor save is a 3+. If you get a successful hit on them, when they roll for the armor, say they roll a 6, you then -3 from that, and if it's still equal or above the armor save roll, which it would be 3, then they're fine. But if they rolled like a 4 or a 5 after that -3, it would bring it down below that 3-up armor save, and of course they'll take the wound. You also have an invulnerable save, a 4+ invulnerable save from the Iron Halo. Now this is an alternative to your regular armor save. It doesn't get modified whatsoever by the enemy's AP. So if you get hit, and you know you will, by the Hyperphase Blade, which is -3 AP, you might as well use that. Otherwise you'd need to roll 6s in order to make your armor save. So moving on from there, it walks you through there, and it's pretty standard affair, just showing you charges, attacks, you get to shoot at them as well. Yeah, it's all pretty cool. Nice little in-depth bit there. I think it's last man standing, isn't it? So there you go. And then of course, next issue is the easy to build Primaris aggressors with the Flamestorm gauntlets and Abaddon Black. And then of course in issue 7 we get 3 new paints, which is a much better deal than in previous series where you only got 2, because you're actually making a saving on that one. So let me know what you think about that issue in the comments below. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button and the like button, and if you want to help support the channel, you can either go through the affiliate links, hit that wish list to be a sponsor of an issue, like this awesome dude right over here, Mr. Ross Graham from Fauxhammer. Go check out his YouTube channel and his blog. Amazing stuff right there. And of course over here we got this fantastic dude who is a member on Buy Me a Coffee, where for as little as £2 a month you can support the channel directly, and it will help with the content, keeps the lights on, keeps the music going. So big shout out to both of you fantastic people, and yeah, big love to you all. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week. Peace.